Well, it goes without saying ukuthi Kaizer Chiefs need another striker. But the question is, will this guy be the answer should they decide to sign him? Hello and welcome to Kosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pilo, I am your host. This is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Kosi Football Club. And in this video, I want us to talk about, let me read, Christian Saile Basomboli. So apparently this guy, when he was trialing with the Chiefs, he impressed the technical team and now Chiefs are looking to sign him. I don't know how true that is, but according to some sources, they say Chiefs are interested in signing the player. And in signing this player, one of the things that I think could be a factor that's making them sign him is the fact that he's physical and the fact that he is also a very tall guy and he kind of mirrors what Caleb is, maybe with just an addition of a pace. However, having said those positives, he's 22, yeah? I don't see much that is happening about him or much vibe around his name, because some of the players that Chiefs have been linked with who are around that same age, there's already a lot about them. Even if you go to transfer market to check a record of a player, you see them there with, okay, they've played for this team, they've played for this team, they've scored this many goals or assisted this much, they've played for their national team this much. And for him, it's just there's nothing. And maybe someone could make an argument, you would know it's because he was playing in the second division and he got his team promoted, because they say in his first season he scored 19 goals and assisted 12 times, but I don't know in how many matches, because where in all the places that I've searched and read, it doesn't really say much about whether or not, or I mean, it doesn't say much about how many games he played. So it still leaves us in the dark. And knowing the Chiefs at this point, with the amount of people that they have tried, because I had Uguti, the guy Upalen Pachna, who was also trialing with the Chiefs, apparently got sent back home, but other reports are saying he's still at Naturena. So if a player has been trialing with the Chiefs for the past 4 weeks and a decision has not been made, it's telling me Uguti he wasn't impressive to the technical team. Because if a player is good enough, first week you see it, okay, they're good. Second week, okay, they're really good. Third week, you are sure now, like in a month of practicing with that player in that environment, you should be able to see. So that means if Upalin Pachna is out of the picture and this other guy that they called Unema is out of the picture, it now leaves this guy, Christian Saile, and leaving him is two options, or can be explained in two ways. One, maybe is better than the rest, which does not mean he's good enough to fit in the squad, because you can be better than the players that you're competing against, but that does not necessarily make you good enough, if you know what I'm saying. Like, you can go to any level of football, you will see there's always a player who's better than all the other players that he's playing with, and then because you are better than the person that you are playing with or the opponent, then it looks like you are good enough. So I hope we are not getting to a point where we're desperate to sign, because what's the date? It's the 11th of January and you need something, and you need to show something to your fans at this point, because you can only sell the story we won't sign anyone for the sake of signing anyone for such a long, for so long. My mind is not even able to process things. So at some point, Chiefs Zwane, they know Uguti fans are now getting tired of hearing the same old excuses, or if not excuses, but reasoning you good, oh, we're still searching, or we're looking for the right player, because now Skatel Glokuses are the same thing over and over again. And I think it might just push them to making a signing of a player who might not be good enough to Chiefs. There is also another possibility that the player is good enough and then he will come to Chiefs and perform. It's just that personally, I am not convinced at this point. By the way, guys, please make sure to like the video and comment letting me know what you think about Christian Saile Basomboli, because this will be interesting. Because the last thing we want, I wouldn't want Chiefs to sign a striker who's worse than Caleb, right? At the the worst possible thing that could happen right now at this point is for Chiefs to just sign someone who's exactly like Caleb. You understand? Because if someone is like Caleb, we know that in 10 games they'll also score 8 goals and miss a lot of chances. But if they sign someone who's worse than Caleb, then what are they going to do in the team? So I would rather have another replica of Caleb for the sake of like for like subs. But mangatiwa ngempela Chiefs are forced into the corner, I would rather just risk it with Uduba Mina and Umdu playing them up front, because at this point, and get Ukelet Osefama to play as our number 9, because I am not feeling comfortable with again bringing a player for the sake of bringing in a player, because guys, we can't have a season where we'll just depend on Caleb, because usaw korila magola ka 80 3 yakhona 4 yakhona ngama penalty, but that's not the point. He scored those goals regardless. But it just worries me ukuthi how will we do for the rest of the season if we bring in a player who's not good enough to play. I just look at players who are signed for the sake of being signed, like Atumelo with Liverpool. He's injured right now and Liverpool don't have a midfielder, and yet they signed someone in January as an emergency signing towards the end of the transfer window, because they were trying to close Imbo. So it doesn't help to have someone who's just gonna come to the team and at the end of the day they don't play, and then now we're like, Benenzan, what were you doing? Because if you wanna sign a player, pay the money for Mali, or right now start saving, invest kuma scouts and get people abazokutholela a proper striker who's going to fit the system, someone that we can scout for the next 6 months, and by the time June comes and then we can sign someone, rather than this thing of just playing finder in 4 weeks and hoping that you'll find quality. And what is scouting for? Having said that, there's an additional information on the striker who can also play as a winger, but his former teammate, as I was reading, apparently says he's better as a number 9. And he also said that he prefers to play with space in front of him. Now, we have a problem, because if this player prefers to play with space in front of him, then basically what you're telling me is that when we're playing against teams abanelo block, which we usually get as the Kaizer Chiefs, when we're playing against teams, teams, they just sit deep and then they catch a sigma count. Equally Silicons against who were we playing? I even forgot this weekend. Begune lokun skukun begune high line, and the bowlers lose we halfway line, because that's how high we play, which is okay. But it also proves ukuthi we don't have enough space to run in behind the opponent. So if we have a striker who's just coming and hoping they will exploit spaces behind, then they will have a Dupree problem, because Dupree also prefer to play with space in front of him. Sehota likes getting space, and now people know, just close space, make sure he can't run into that space. He can cause all the havoc he wants, but we'll just limit him to the wings, and then the end product here won't be good enough, and at the end of the day he won't be delivering. So I wouldn't want to sign a player who's just gonna be in trouble the moment they step into a Kaizer Chiefs. I did say if he comes to Chiefs and he performs, I will be okay. If you want to know why Chiefs won't be signing the player that you all thought they were going to sign, ngakhohlwa igama, mihlola yazi isingisi akusiso nesingisi, ngikhathele nje ingqondo yami is not working well, forgive me for that. But if you want to know why Chiefs won't be signing Kamelo Mokojo, please watch this video over here. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next one, and until next time, remember, equals alphelo moya.